What is up, guys? A very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. So we're going to be diving into euro dollar and seeing what the potential trade opportunities are, because the dollar pairs do look very interesting. So starting off with euro dollar over here on the 4 hour, not that much has changed since our Friday market outlook. Obviously, what we have seen is a push in towards the upside from that area of demand, as we pretty much expected. Because obviously we know that the overall 4 hour market structure on euro dollar is still bullish from this low all the way in towards this high. We've seen a pullback in towards the downside. We've liquidated this low over here, and now what we've seen on the lower time frame, or at least kind of like zoomed in on the 4 hour, is that we've now made a pullback in towards this 4 hour area of demand. So this sell for the buy, we've moved back in, and now we have moved back out once again. So what's interesting to see, and what has happened during the Asia session last night, is that we saw a fractal break of the high over here. So after a fractal break, that means that we also have a new fractal low. And the current fractal low is the low of this bullish candle over here. So as long as this low is respected, we still anticipate that the market will move up higher, back up in towards this area of supply. So keep your eyes out for euro dollar longs for the rest of the day, as long as this low is respected. Obviously, we'll also have to take a look at the dollar index, but that's now the main focus for euro dollar. As long as this low over here is respected, we will continue to look for further upside. Now going in towards the 15-minute, what is then there to see? Well, overall, if we look at the 15, I don't really see that many clean areas of demand here to our left. We just tapped in towards this area of demand over here, this sell before the buy candle. We tapped into that, and now I would potentially look for some bullish reaction in towards the highs, see kind of like a break of these highs, and then potentially a pullback and then further upside continuation. We could also push down lower, as long as this 4 hour low is respected for myself, then I'm still happy to look for those further buys in towards the highs. Overall, the 15 minutes just looking choppy, so not too much focus on that. Let's just keep our main focus here on the 4 hour time frame and see what happens over there. I know this is our area of demand, so if we do tap in towards there, potentially a further long in towards the highs would be possible. However, overall, yeah, it's still a little bit of corrective price action, so just keep your eyes out and don't get caught up in that overall range. So now moving on in towards the dollar index, what can we see over here? Well, obviously we were looking for further downside as well, as long as the high over here was respected. We came up in towards this area of daily supply, and we saw a break of structure. So daily area of supply, lower time frame break of structure. What do you expect? We expect a pullback in towards the downside. If you watch my market structure video, you'll also gain further clarification over there. Now, obviously, we push in towards the downside, saw a fractal break of structure, pull back in towards the highs, and then that further downside continuation. So what I'm looking for the rest of today is just that further downside continuation, as long as the overall order flow is respected. Now, this is your new 4 hour fractal high over here on this bullish candle, and that is also your area of supply. So potentially it's tapping towards there, and then that further downside continuation is what I'm going to be looking for on the dollar index. Now, moving on in towards Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar over here on the 4 hour time frame has also been following order flow. As you can clearly see, we saw a further rise in towards the highs over the weekend, or on Friday, and in towards Asia session last night. However, early London session and late Asia session has provided us with a pullback. At the moment, this is your fractal low over here on this bullish candle. As long as that low is respected, we expect further upside. If that low is broken, then we expect further downside. As simple as that. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on Aussie dollar. We've pulled back all the way in towards discount. It's logic for Aussie dollar to push up higher, but personally, I don't really like this pair that much due to the corrective nature that we're seeing over here. There's no real bullish intentions coming from this pair. So I'll just be sitting on the sidelines mainly with Aussie dollar at the moment. Now moving on in towards pound dollar, one of the most requested pairs, obviously. As we can see, we've pulled back or pulled up higher in towards this area of supply. Now, at the moment, the overall order flow is just remaining bullish. As you guys know, I was looking for potential for the downside after tapping in towards this area of supply. But what we can see is that we've just sustained the overall push up higher. We never broke this low. And as I mentioned, as long as this low over here holds, the overall bullish market structure just continues in towards the highs. Now, this is your new 4 hour fractal low. As long as that low is respected, again, we expect further upside. We still have this fresh area of supply. We still have some liquidity open over here. So I would not be surprised if pound dollar does push up higher. But if we do want to look for shorts, just wait for this fractal low to go. We look for pushing towards the downside, pullback, continuation in towards this fresh area of demand. Oh, excuse me. So that is that pretty much for pound dollar. Obviously, we're having or creating a lot of liquidity below these trend line. and we also have ascending corrective price action. So it is favoring a potential move in towards the downside very, very soon. So keep your eyes open for that. But for confirmation for that for the downside, we do need to see a shift in the overall market structure. So that's pound dollar. Moving on in towards Kiwi dollar. So NZDUSD. So what are we seeing over here? Range. So staying out of this, as we can see, obviously stuck in between supply, stuck in between demand. We did see a push in towards the highs, but still, if we just focus on fractal structure, this is still your fractal high. This is still your fractal low. Obviously, if we focus on what's happening over here, break of this fractal high and now kind of like a pullback in towards this overall demand zone. So you could start looking for longs in towards the highs, but for me, this is just a range. So I am staying out of Kiwi dollar until we kind of like choose a direction. Preferably you want to liquidate the lows first and then see that reversal in towards the highs. Moving on in towards our last pair, which is gold. So what's happening with gold? As you guys know, I was looking for a potential long from this area of demand. So on Friday, we did see actually a tap exactly in towards that area of demand. Over there, was there any real high probability trade? Well, not for me personally. As we can see, what has happened is that we've just pushed in towards this area of supply over here. So there's buy and then a sell-off that pushed us in towards this area of demand. Now, at the time, this was your fractal high and this was your fractal low. So what you actually wanted to see was kind of like a push down, pull back, push, 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 push. Kind of like a change in the overall lower time frame structure. But what happened is that we just started pulling back. We reacted to this supply zone and we've just continued in towards the downside. So what I'm now looking for again is 4-hour demand to get hit, but now a lower zone of 4-hour demand, which is over here. So this is now my doji candle, which I'm looking for a pullback in towards before then looking for that further upside on gold to trade the overall pullback in towards the highs, towards, let's say, this area of fresh supply. So that's what I'm looking for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, make sure to join Discord. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Thanks, guys.